here's the thing, as I find, and this is why I go with North America. Try to get on camera, guys, if we can. That would be awesome. Put out a couple quick messages real quick. Hey, Mark, can you put your message in the chat again? Your notice.
Notice is that, sir?
Don't you have a flyer for full timers?
I'm sorry?
The flyer that you have for full timers. Let me see here. Let me see if I can find it.
Oh, I'll be glad to.
Thank you. All right, all right, all right. All right.
Happy Monday, everyone. I'm going to be off camera. I'm driving to the Mutual of Omaha event, but I'm here.
All right. Well, good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing this morning?
Morning. Wonderful.
Morning.
Excellent.
Good morning.
All right. Well, you guys know the drill. What we'll start with today. We had an awesome Super Saturday. Levi Bemboni brought the house down. It was incredible. What's some good news you guys had from this last week?
I went to a live in-person event on Saturday at Corbridge.
How did that go, Suzanne? Thank you for representing us out there.
It was really great to be in the room with Greg Cap and Eric Olson and who else? Melinda Blue Taylor and all the other people. All meet other GFI agents from California.
I love it. I love it. What kind of things did they go over?
I think the most important was how to actually plan to get to your EMD run. You know, reinforcing what you've been teaching us, Michael. You know, about how to plan it, set a date, make sure that you set targets, that was like reinforced. Eric also spent a bit of time explaining where he's come from, why he's doing what he's doing, and also explained the POP program from his perspective. So that was really good to get this same message. It's consistent, and just get it reinforced.
What was some of the good things about the POP program that you maybe learned for the first time or that you realized or kind of caught on to?
That we're not just a financial services company, but it's actually the combination of the financial services, the tech, and the inspirational marketing that differentiates us from the rest of the people. And how we're not just looking for more insurance agents, we're actually looking for leaders. And that was just reinforced in the way that it was presented.
I love it. Love, love, love.
So we are consistent, our message is the same, that's great to hear that it's not just a rogue unit or everybody's speaking the same language.
I love it. That's awesome. What else did you learn at the Corbridge headquarters? Anything products or any other training?
The Corbridge products, they've spent a lot of time also explaining to us that they're the only company that offers the 5-finger solution. So I'm going to be spending a bit more time looking at Corbridge. Their final expense, they also have some interesting takes on the annuity products. And they explain why they don't offer a bonus. So I want to look into that a little bit more because they gave us
Excellent, excellent, good stuff. Well, I'm glad you could go. That's incredible. Lots of good stuff to learn there. Um, Excellent, excellent. Who else has some good news? Who had some good activity last week, or maybe you ran a good appointment? Do you have a follow-up, or maybe you're writing an application? Maybe you brought on a new business partner. Maybe it was a takeaway from the Super Saturday. Everybody gets to participate. Who else has some good news?
My have a good advanced planning case for a business owner. Teed up with one of my agents who made the connection. So we probably have, at least from what I can see, easily 3 or 4 pieces of business to write. That's like minimum. Some upgrades for old policies that aren't doing what they really intended them to do that they got through State Farm. So that's an easy upgrade. A couple like executive bonus type plans, maybe some key man agreements too, and then definitely some tax mitigation, some estate and legacy planning stuff. There's a lot of opportunity with this gentleman. So started his own company. It's a data consulting company. He's very sharp, pretty savvy himself, and really open to a discussion of like essentially he's just looking for a quarterback of like, I have all these pieces kind of souped together. He also has about 400,000 that's owed to him from the company that he'll be taking in the distributions, and they're just trying to figure out how does he take those effectively. So
Awesome. Good stuff. Great meeting. Sounds good. Yeah, we'll have to look into that this week and help you put something together for that. All right. Jerry, I think you should share how much your client's earning on that Allianz policy. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. When you're getting over 13-14% in an annuity, that's pretty freaking good. And I was just looking at some IULs. I have a client who started, I'll tell you right now, in April. Husband and wife, 2 IULs, Allianz IULs. The wife is up in most of those indices anywhere from 9 to 9.27%. And that's in 4 months.
Wow.
And the husband, he's up, interestingly, because he started a little bit before hers, he's up 10.39, 11, and 12%. 4 months.
Wow.
In 4 months, that's with Allianz. So pretty impressive because they have the participation rates, like 185%, but then on top of that, 15% bonus with those indices. So pretty powerful to be able to get those types of returns in 4 months.
That's awesome. I'm excited for mine. Mine are issuing this next week. So Rochelle and I both have Allianz policies. I'm fired up, man. I want to get those making some money.
The FedEx package actually arrives today.
Oh, yay. Good. Excellent. Isaac, by the way, man, you're training that same topic again Tuesday night. That was awesome. I was hoping and wishing and praying that people were going to hop back on. I know some people missed that at the very end because we went a little over time, but man, that was fire, brother. Good stuff. What's some good news from you, Isaac?
Thanks, Michael. I appreciate it. Yeah, you have to understand that if you're building a company here, that's how you build it. That's the way they build it. Yeah, so good news. Last week was pretty good. Submitted about 2 apps from a referral that I got from one of my clients. She's excited. Looks like we can get her to her goal of how much she wants to make in retirement in about 9 to 10 years, which is exciting. I always love when I can help my clients actually reach their retirement goal, especially when they didn't even believe they could do it when they sat down with me. And then I got another application from a 1-year-old lead where I just sent her an email, and she's like, yeah, let's do it, because one of her good friends, her really good friend, just passed away out of nowhere, like suddenly. She's like, I talked to her, she was fine, and then a couple days later she was gone, right? So that really kind of motivated her to really get this done. And then obviously following the system, Gemini did a great job, recruited a new business partner a week ago, taking her through the system, did the onboarding one. She just loved index strategies, annuities. She actually has an annuity that she's living off of right now that she sees it working very well for her. So we're gonna potentially roll over about 125,000, put her money in a great place. So that's really good news. And obviously the training was awesome. And I just love hearing from Levi that the POP he gave the POP program to his lawyer to read, and his lawyer said this is the best golden handcuffs I've ever seen in my 32 years as a lawyer. And how do I take part in this POP program, right? So that was good news. Just hearing that from Levi. So and this week got a lot of stuff. Oh, and then I have another license agent who I spoke to last week. She was sick. She couldn't make the interview, but she just emailed me last night after watching the iDecide. She's a manager at Globe Life AIL, and she's like, I'm available today or tomorrow. When can we sit down? So she's pretty excited. So that's the good news from last week.
Great job, Isaac. Good stuff. All right. Who else? Who else? Who else? Always be prepared with good news, guys. Latasha. What about Steve? What about William? What about Annalise? What about Mike Hagood? Mike Hagood got promoted, net license, and his first check last month. So great job, Mike.
Yes, I talked to two teachers this weekend, and they're going to put me in contact with the director. It's a Montessori school, so we're going to. I'm gonna. I'm aiming to give a presentation for them, and teachers are great. Uh, it's a great market for annuities. So I think, I have a good chance there. And the good thing is Montessori, they have like many, many schools. So I'm working on that.
Good stuff, Annalise. That's awesome. Let me know if you need any help with that. I know we have an education division, so maybe we
Oh,
can see what's going on with that. And then, hey, Bella, I know that you're working with some schools too. Maybe we can have you check in and get in the education division. How does that sound? I know she's probably wrestling with kids right now. All right. Anybody else? Anybody else? Awesome. Well, if you guys missed Super Saturday, I'm going to put the video in the chat again, especially Levi. Thank you, Mark. Mark, you have some takeaways from that, man. You were going nuts, man. What are some of the takeaways you had from Super Saturday?
Well, I think the biggest one was just the energy that you felt from guys like Levi, right? The passion that he has for helping other people. And I think I sent you a text during the meeting saying, man, I have that passion. How do I convey that passion to my client? And your response to me was perfect. It was share stories with them, right? Share stories with them. So that's one of the things that I'm really going to start working on is trying to let them know how much they mean to me, and how much their family means to me, and how much I want them to be protected, right? Because until they feel right like we care, they're not going to know that we care. And that was my biggest takeaway from the event was to create more of that feeling for my client.
Love it.
Mark, I have to say something. Thank you for putting the trainings on YouTube. They're very useful. Sometimes if I can't go, I know that I can go there. It's amazing.
Well, hey, you need to thank Michael. He's the one who's having it done. So we're certainly appreciative of him doing that for us.
Great.
Yeah, thank you, Mark, for doing that. That's awesome.
Thank you.
That's awesome. Good stuff, guys. Well, a couple quick things, and we'll turn it over to Adriana. Number one is that we're on the 10th of the month so far. So can you guys believe it? I thought it just turned August like yesterday. Am I right? I mean, did it just turn August like just a minute ago? And it's already the 10th. So we have 18 18 families helped so far this month. 16 are applications, 2 recruits. So last month we finished the month at 17 recruits. We're a little behind, guys. We should be hitting 25 every single month. So we need to turn that back on. I know from 11 to 1 today, we have our calling session. So if your focus is recruiting and building, make sure that we're on that today because we need to be, we're behind for the month so far. Great job with Isaac. Josh Nadell, who's very part-time, he turned in 2 applications. Isaac turned in 2. Alex, Tony Slattery, Brian Lemacki. So great job to all of those heroes turning in applications. I turned in an application last week, $182,000 rollover, and I got another $92,000 that's waiting for signatures right now, and I got a couple more that I'm working on this week. So fired up for that. So if you guys have anybody who has money to roll over, we should be talking to them. Last week we had a great call with Anthony Resendez as well. I know a couple of you guys were on that. That was kind of very impromptu, very last minute, but talking about Roth conversions, and I know Jerry's the master at that. So if you guys have anybody with Roth conversions, definitely be talking to Jerry. He knows what he's doing on that. But right now I'm going to turn it over to Adriana. Adriana, can you give us an update? I know we got a lot of good points turned in right now. This month, let me actually look at the numbers really quick. This month so far, so let me go back to last month. Actually, let me go back to rolling 12. We are super close, guys, to hitting the $1 million point base shop, which is a big deal. When waiting for Teva to populate here, but I believe we need about 88,000 points to hit this month. 88,000. That's it, right? We're right on the finish line. We finished last month over 100,000 points. So we're right there, super duper close. Very excited. That's a big deal. That puts us in the top 15 of the entire company out of 400 or 500 EMDs, puts us in the very top. So very excited for you guys. I know that you might not be as excited as I am, but I hope you are, because when you're in a $1 million point base shop, you should be able to go out there, hit EMD, and then build a $1 million point base shop yourself. So that's a big deal. And it all starts, in fact, all of the production you're doing now, right, will count when you hit EMD towards your base shop numbers. So all your production, all your team's production, that counts for all of these different contests. So keep that in mind, right? That you know, if you're running for EMD, you should be doing at least, you and your team, at least 25,000 points a month, because when you hit EMD, you get a bonus, right? You get that bonus pool, starts at 25,000 points a month. So very excited about that. Want you guys getting all the bonuses, all the you know, all the money that you can get towards your family is very important. So I'm going to turn it over to you, Adriana, really quick here for an update.
Yes, good morning. And as Michael said, we're super close to that $1 million base shop. So continue to submit in all the applications again. Just fill that Google Forms so I know that it is there. Last week we had 26,000 points added to the pipeline, so that's great. Let's continue doing that, because we're super close to our goal of having a total of 300,000 in the pipeline, so we can hit you know, usually a third of what we have in total in the pipeline is what hits in the fund. So we aim to have at least 300,000 every time. Right now we're at 257,000. And again, congratulations to everyone who's submitting applications. We'll be following up with those. Just remember, if you have anyone on your team that maybe doesn't know about it, or maybe it's their first application, remind them that they need to submit the Google form so I can help them. And it's, let's say that it's instant approval, right? You don't need a lot of things for it to get placed in Forest. We don't have to do a lot, so that pays. But once it pays, the fact that I have it in that Google form will also help me check if it was paid correctly. So it's really important that we fill out that Google form. And right now I have 65 policies, so I will be following up with all of them. Remember that if you have anything that's over 30 days, pay extra attention to that so we can get it placed as soon as possible. We can get those clients protected and just get everyone happy. Okay. But yeah, I think that right now that's everything I have here. I will put the link to the Google form in case you don't have it. It's still in GroupMe, like it's always on GroupMe, and to my Calendly in case you need anything. Okay.
And Adriana, do we know how many points are going to hit tomorrow on Tuesday's cycle yet?
I think that it should be around 70 tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow. I don't have anything for tomorrow, but there's always possibility that some things get paid before I expect it to. But for tomorrow, I have nothing at the moment. There
All
might
right.
be
Well, hopefully that
4,000.
changes. Hopefully that changes, and we have a whole bunch of stuff hitting tomorrow. So good stuff, because I know we have a huge pipeline, a lot of stuff that's approved and ready to go. Let's maybe check on that case for Aaron Marlowe, because I think that should be ready to hit with North American. So that would be awesome. So Angelina, any updates on operations, please?
Hey guys, good morning. Happy Monday. If as you log into Teva, if you can just make sure to fill out, there's a notification for a sizing and for your recognition, because GFI does send like special gifts to your house, but they can't if they don't have your correct sizing. So just make sure you do that. Also, for all the field trainers, please, if you're splitting sales, I kind of redid the document for you, just something nice and easy, little checklist. But you should check, like, it's not a pick and choose checklist. If you would like to get paid and you'd like the person you're splitting to get paid, all those have to be checked. As long as because then we're going to go back to the field trainer, like Adriana just said, if you are field training, please help them fill out the Google form. Same thing. We're going to be like, okay, did you see the split sale form? Which part didn't you fill out, or you did, or it's helpful? Because right now we just want to make sure everyone gets paid and gets paid correctly and promptly, and because the train is moving pretty fast. Another update is that Fernanda is going to be out until Thursday. She'll be out Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So please contact Rodrigo for any licensing stuff, even CE stuff, anything like that for licensing. And we are already going to hit our month. Friday will be the 15th, which is like 2 weeks in, and that's when we really start pushing our month end. We push every week, but that's when we really start getting the heavy push in. So if you have open requirements, please get those in. If you have any checks being sent for rollovers, please get the tracking numbers and let us know. Because once we get those tracking numbers, we actually call and I have them pull it off their like whatever regular schmegular. Oh, end of the day we get to it. No. It was signed by, Joe Blow at 10:02. So Joe Blow has it. So go get it from Joe Blow. And then we issue, right? And then you get your delivery receipts. So exciting stuff. So just have a great week, and I'll talk to you guys soon.
Thank you, Angelina. Awesome stuff. All right, guys, a couple things here. Wanted to share, every month they send out a ranking. So that's what I love about Teva and love about our technology that we have. We can see where we're ranked. So as you can see, we get an email every month. So out of 37 bait shops, we're ranked number 10 golf score. So great job, guys. We're in the top 10. That's awesome. Once again, this is a big deal because if all of these things that we do, right, just cut and paste, right? That's all I did for my leaders is I just cut and paste what they were doing. Obviously, we want to move up the rankings even more, but we're very proud of that. We're number 5 out of 37 for recruiting. So great job, guys, on that. That's a big deal. This last 12 months, we had 363 new business partners come on board. We're down 15% last month. So we need to, once again, make sure that we're hitting consistently that 25 mark. Our average is 30 a month. So we definitely want to at least be average, right? And then 38% of the people that come on board with a license. So I actually think that number is a little higher. Might be, I think it's over 50%. So good stuff. Out of all the licenses, we're number 6 in the company. So great job, guys. We have 138 licenses. Once again, I think that's a little low, right, compared to what we've been tracking. So but our licensing ratio is high, so that's good, guys. Almost 25% of people that come on board become net licensed. So once again, they make their first $1,000. So great job, guys, on that. That's a big deal. We will always want to be continually improving on that. Our production, we're number 16 out of 37. So we were just under 1 million points. This is rolling 12. So that's August through the end of July. So we had some good points growth. These are the numbers we got to work on, guys. Points per recruit, right? We should be getting 5,000 points per recruit. That means, let me like math that out for everybody, $416. So write that down, $416, $416, $416. So every time a new business partner comes on board, whether it's their policy, their family's policies, their friends' policies, their mom's policies, a referral policy, the grandma's policy, grandchild's policy, whoever that is, that should be averaging about 5,000 points. 5,000 divided by 400 and 5,000 divided by 12 is $400. So we want to make sure, what is it? 400 and I just blinked on that. 5,000 divided by 12 is $416. All right, $416. So that could be one policy for $416. That could be two policies for $208, four policies for $104, right? So good job, guys. And then our points per license, running in the base shop, you guys want to be averaging, we want to be averaging 20,000 points per license, right? 20,000 points per license. So anybody have a calculator? I need a volunteer, please. Anybody have their phone right in front of them? Anybody have their phone? All right. So 20,000, you can come off camera. So come off mute. 20,000 divided by 12 is what?
1,666.
1,666. So that means every license on your team, Mark, every month should be doing 1,666. So divide that again by 12. Todd?
Yep. That is, sorry. It just freaked out on me. 1,666 divided by 12. $138.83.
So all you have to do, guys, this is good. This is a big deal. All you have to do every month is get one policy for $139. Every licensed agent on your team. One policy for $139. That's it. Obviously, we want to do way more than that. That's the bare minimum, right? But if you have a team, right? Let's say you have 20 licenses on your team. Let's say you have 10 licenses on your team, and they're all doing $139 a month. That's a 200,000 point team. So 10 people times 20,000, that's 200,000 in production, right? What do you need for EMD? You need 150,000. So you're not far off, right? So every licensed agent, right? Some are going to remember 80-20 rule, right? 20% of the people are going to do 80% of the work, right? So, but you want to make sure that everybody's out there. So I would put a little homework out today, guys, that you're contacting this, block out an hour today, and you're talking to every license on your team, talking to everybody licensed on your team. Hey, what do you got going on? Hey, how can I help you? Well, who can we help this week? Is there any families we can talk to? Did we protect their family, right? Did we protect all of their family, right? So I just had a call this last week that my really good friend Eric, his wife, has cancer, right? And I'm so glad I had to chase her down, guys. She's awesome, right? She's super nice, right? She loves us, but I had to chase her down to get her policy done. $750,000 death benefit. Now she's diagnosed with cancer, and she's going to get a living benefit claim. Right, I had to chase her down. Like how long we've known Ashley and Eric? I've known them for 15 years, I think, right? And I had to chase her down and get it done and follow up and follow up and follow up and follow up. So what we do changes lives. Use that story, Mark. We talked about using these stories. Use these stories, guys. So I hope everybody here has a living benefits policy. Right, I really do hope everybody is here because we can insure someone with living benefits from age 0 to 70, right? So we should get everybody that we know to have a living benefits policy, guys. Let's go down to the last category here, persistency. We're at 86%. So the client that pays is the client that stays, right? So we want to make sure that all of our clients are staying. So we actually are starting a big initiative the second half of the year to go back to all the clients that charge back, right? Look at that. There's some chargebacks we got to work on, but we want to make sure that people are keeping their policies, that people are, maybe it's a bank account error, maybe they moved, maybe it was an overdraft, something happened, but we're really shooting to improve that status so that every single client is protected that we talk to, right? Sometimes situations change, sometimes things get better, but that's a good opportunity to reach out to them. It's a good opportunity to build that relationship, ask for referrals, right? Take good care of them. Jerry, I know you have that script for using the beneficiaries as a referral. Could you mind touching on that really quick? Because that's a big deal, guys. That's how we grow our business, is that some of us are thinking like, I don't know anybody to talk to. Well, we have your phone, we have your social media, we have your LinkedIn, we have your Instagram. Most people at least have 200, 300, 400 people on their phone. Guarantee you haven't talked to them yet, right? And then some of you guys have clients, some of you guys have leads, some of you, you know what I mean? Like there's so many ways that so many people out there that we can talk to. You just have to open your eyes, right? And think about that. Like, who can I talk to? Like these beneficiaries, that's a big deal that we can help them as well. Jerry, do you mind touching on that again today?
Yeah, sure. So whenever we write, obviously, a indexed annuity or life insurance, we have to put beneficiaries. And one of the keys you have there is if you have a husband, he typically is putting the spouse, and vice versa. They're putting each other as beneficiary. So then the question comes, what if something happens to both of you? Where's the money going to go? And we typically don't recommend to leave the money to minors because that creates other issues where they have to go through probate, have to go through guardianship and figure out where that money is going to be sent to and to who it's going to be sent to. So we often recommend that contingent beneficiaries are going to be somebody who's going to raise the kids. Maybe it's a brother, maybe it's a cousin, maybe it's a grandparent who's going to raise the kids. And that opens up a great conversation now with contingent beneficiaries. Once the policy's done, its policy's issued or the annuity, the money's transferred over. Now the question is, well, do you think that the very first time that I meet your contingent beneficiary should be because something happened, or do you think it would be a good idea for us to meet now so that they know who I am, I know who they are? So if God forbid something happens, we can have that conversation and it's not the very first time we're meeting. So they're going to say, yeah, well, that would make sense. Okay, great. So why don't we do this? Give them a quick call. Let them know that I'll be reaching out to them. Just let them know that if you did a life insurance, that you did a life insurance policy to protect, your financial house, to set up your foundation of your financial house, and you wanted to connect them to your representative who's going to handle the claim if God forbid something were to happen. Just let them know I'm going to be reaching out to them. Now, what I would prefer to do is a three-way text. Just put us on a three-way text and make an introduction. Hey, this is a person who's helping me set up my financial game plan. Jerry, say hi to Mike. And then I'll say, hey, Mike, great to meet you. When can I give you a quick call today? And then when I call Mike, I'm just going to say, hey, Mike, listen, I have William here. I can see him on my screen, right? So like William mentioned, I helped them set up, the foundation of the financial house. I'm helping put together some of his financial game plan. And I want to get with you, preferably on Zoom, so I can kind of go over what it is that he got set up. He put you as a contingent beneficiary. So obviously you're a very important person in his life, and he put you down as a contingent beneficiary. I want to make sure you know exactly what that entails, what you would need to do. And, when can we jump on Zoom? Can we do that tomorrow, tonight? When are you available? So now that I'm jumping on with Mike, I'm going to ask Mike when we get on Zoom now, Mike, would it be okay if I show you what I showed William, which is what caused him to move forward and get this set up? What the educational piece, the stuff that I went over with him. Mike's going to say, sure. Yeah, no problem. What's he going to say? No. So I show now Mike, and I'm going to go over a very brief. It's not going to be a full-blown presentation, but I will pull up a financial house. I'll kind of give him some of the framework, and then just through general questions, I'll say, Mike, has anybody ever gone through this stuff with you? And when you look at when you look at this financial house, would you say that you would want to upgrade any of these levels that you see on here? And if an upgrade is available, would you be interested to find out if an upgrade's available? So now that's going to open up a whole new conversation with Mike to see what he's got going on. Maybe there's ways I can help him. Now I'm going to start that off, obviously, by going over William's policy. I'm going to say this is what it has. It has living benefits. So I'm basically selling the policy without selling the policy because I'm talking to him about all these benefits that William is going to have with his policy. And now Mike's going to be like, well, I want one of those, right? It's going to be like, I want what the other person has. So that's a natural transition. Now you can take it a step further and you can say, so William, let me ask you, you have Mike as contingent beneficiary. Who would be a couple of emergency contacts? You know how sometimes you fill it out at, at your job or, whatever it is, and they're going to ask, well, what if something were to happen to you? Who are some emergency contacts that would need to be contacted to make sure everything's okay? Who would you say are some good emergency contacts? Because what if we can't get a hold of Mike? Who else who else would know if God forbid something like that were to happen? And it's not just death. We're talking living benefits too, right? Like if you had a heart attack, if you had, God forbid, you're in the hospital, something happens, you're in a coma, and your spouse, for whatever reason, they're in shambles, right? Emotionally, they're just done. Who would know what's going on that is that close to you guys that would know what's going on? And you'd say, okay, my mother-in-law, my mother, my brother, my cousin, whoever. Okay, great. Can we get 2 to 3 of those emergency contacts? And what I'm going to do is I just want to, again, I want to make a quick introduction, do a 3-way text, let's make a quick introduction, say I'm helping you with your finances, and you want to make sure that they know exactly who to call if something happens. Because a lot of times it's the speed that's critical in these types of situations, right? So I want to make sure that they know exactly who to call, put them in, I can send them my digital business card, they can save me in their phone, they know exactly who to call, they could put your name with my name if that helps to remember. Well, whatever it is, I just want them, we want to make sure that we're doing our part to make sure that you're getting the benefits that you purchased, right? You bought these benefits. We want to make sure you get them. So that then you could take that a step further with contingent beneficiaries, with emergency contacts. And imagine if you have 1 or 2 contingent beneficiaries and 2 to 3 emergency contacts, you could be walking away with 4 to 5 people that are all probably their hot market, and they're all going to be open to sitting with you. They're not going to say no. They're connecting with you because you helped out one of their friends or family members, and this is just part of the process. If you make this part of your process, now that becomes a system that you're able to not only implement for your business, but then teach to your team. And now every time that a teammate writes a policy, they're going to go through that same framework of contingent beneficiary, emergency contact. This is what I do. Then it's a 3-way text. Then I call them. Then we set up a Zoom. I show them what I did for the client. I show them a financial house. I help them with their personal finances. Now Michael and Rochelle need a policy. They have contingent beneficiaries. They have emergency contacts. 3-way text. Set up a Zoom. Show the presentation. Do a policy. You see how you can just do it over and over and over and over and over and over. So when we talk about tap rooting a recruit, you could tap root a client. Couldn't you? You have a husband and wife who gives you maybe 2 contingent beneficiaries, 3 emergency contacts. You just went 5 deep with a client. They don't even know they're getting tap rooted, right? So you could do that and keep going over and over and over. And in that process, now, what if I sit with Michael and Rochelle, and they're going to move forward, right? And they're like, oh my gosh, how can we do this? I didn't know that this is something I could actually do to make additional income. Guess who I'm calling? Hey, William, I don't know if you know this, but I just spoke with Michael and Rochelle, super sharp. They're actually looking to work with us too, man. I know we touched on that, but listen, I think that could mean a lot to you if you were to get on board here, and we can that could be your first recruit, man. Listen, again, up to you, but I just don't want you to miss out, man. You could be missing out on a lot of benefit to you and your family financially by having these people on your team. You don't have to do it. I mean, they could be direct to me, that's fine, but I'd rather them be direct to you. So listen, why don't we jump on Zoom and talk about that again? I really want to make sure you understand the compensation once you understand the team structure, because listen, they're coming on board with or without you, bro. So I just don't want you to miss out. You see that now it's the FOMO, right? And that's what you can create. That's like what Isaac was talking about on Saturday. It's about burning the rope from the bottom. You can do that with clients too. And then you recruit the person that from the beginning who was like, "Oh, I don't know if I'm interested." And he's like, holy crap. So you're telling me all this stuff is happening because of my one policy with my contingents, my emergency contacts? Yeah, it is. So why don't we revisit the whole business thing, bro? I think we should definitely take a closer look at that because I think there's a lot of benefit there. So that's a system that can be implemented if you just do it, right? A lot of people just don't do it. If you do it, you'll see the results.
Awesome. Thank you, Jerry. Appreciate that. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right. Does that sound good, everybody? Like that's solid. That's a great way to get referrals, great way to grow your business, great way to talk to new people, right? And it's free. It's free. All right. Good stuff. Let's see. So I'm excited. We're going to have Isaac training tomorrow night. Very, very excited about going back over those concepts on taprooting and how to do that and building a strong business. They say width equals wealth, right? So you want to be wide. You want to have a lot of business partners, but depth equals the profitability. You want to make sure that people are staying in the business, that they have a team, that they have things going on their team. So good stuff with that. Very excited. We have our call sessions today, guys. So it's starting at 11. Let's see here, let me see if we can post that again in the chat. But we have our leads and we have our licensed agent call block starting in just a few minutes. So make sure that you're on for that. Guys, you want to make sure, like I was actually had Mark put together, and Mark, I don't know if I see it in my inbox here, but I had Mark put together, like, what does it really take to be successful in this industry, right? What does it really take to be successful in this industry? And, you got to be blocking out at least 2 to 4 hours a day. 2 hours is the bare minimum, but every single day to make some phone calls, right? Because the 3 things that pay us, guys, are prospecting, number 1, right, which is part of making calls, making phone calls, and having appointments. So you guys know that Levi talked about the numbers this last weekend. I thought that was really good. In fact, everybody should listen to that, listen to him speak again. That's why thank you, Mark, for posting that in the chat. But he said if you're an 80%er, right, if you're just going to kind of do a little bit here and there, right, 115. So 1 appointment, 1 new prospect, and 5 calls a day, right? 1 appointment, 1 new prospect, and 5 calls a day, right? What if you did that every single day, right? Every single day, right? Some people aren't even doing that every single day, but if you're a 20%er, right, he said 3-3-15. 3-3-15. So that's 3 conversations, 3 meetings, and 15 dials a day, right? 15 dials. That's for your 20%ers, right? But once again, imagine the compounding effect. 3 appointments a day times 5. That's 15 appointments a week. Okay, that's a solid schedule. And then your elite performers are 5-5-25. 5-5-25. So 5 conversations a day, right? 5 appointments a day, right? And 25 calls a day, right? So those are the numbers, guys, and just put yourself in whatever category, like whatever category you think is a good fit, let's do it, right? So what if it was just 115, right? You're making 5 calls a day, having 1 conversation, 1 meeting, right? Imagine what that would do for your business. It's all about consistency, right? It's all about consistency. It's all about find that number and then start hitting that number every day and then improving that, right? So every day you're getting better, right? They say if you get 1% better every day, right? You could be in the next 90 days, right? You could be 90% better, right? So, but pick that category that you want to fall into to start, right? And then make sure that every day you're continually improving, right? I want to challenge you guys. Pick one, right? 115. All right, I'm going to do that every single day. I'm super part-time. I have a full-time job. I have lots of responsibilities. I have kids. I have, sports. I have school. Great. If you're a referral agent, 115, right? If you're an 80%er, right? Or if you want to be a 20%er, right? That's 3-3-15. So 3 appointments a day, 3 conversations, 15 calls. But if you want to be an elite performer, if you want to get to the top, if you want to get to EMD, your bare minimum is 5-5-25, right? 5-5-25. And I think that's a little light, even when you're getting started, because you want to be focused on having as many conversations as you can. But once you get into that rhythm, once you get in that groove, right, 5-5-25 is something super manageable, especially if you want to build a huge organization. Yes, Tom.
Thank you, Mike. One of the questions I have with what you just said there was, like, for instance, let's do the first one, 115. My recollect was Levi was saying 5 actual contact voice conversations. You're saying just calls, or is it actual contact?
Sorry, 5 conversations. Yeah, there you go.
So then for those that are 5, 5, 25, be 5 conversations, 25 conversations, correct?
Yes.
Okay, just want to make sure.
Hold on. What did he? I'll have to re-listen to the tape there because 25 conversations a day is a lot. But what?
Yeah, that's why I was asking that question, because that's exactly why I'm asking the question, because it was like he said, no, make sure it's real live contact conversations. I thought, but just want to make clarity, because no matter what it is, I want to stay to the standard of respect. But I just want to make sure I understood it correctly.
Does anybody remember? Do we have to listen to the tape again? Yes, he said 25 conversations. Okay, there you go. There you go. Right? Hey, maybe that volume's got to be higher then, right? Volume is everything. This is a volume business, guys. Volume is everything. Out. So, good stuff. Thanks for posting, Latasha. She's got a great memory, doesn't she, guys? Awesome. So, good stuff. Well, let's put that back again in the chat again today, guys. Let's have a great week. Let's have a great week. I want to challenge everybody. Let's hit the phones. I was just looking on GFI on Teva, right? That there's over 1,600 leads. Let's see, 1,600 leads on Teva right now. So these are only going to be around for the next month or so. So if you're dealing with inventory, right? There's a couple ways that you can build inventory for your business. Number one is put together that top 25, top 100 list, right? So for yourself and every business partner, you have a top 25 minimum, right? But hopefully even more, top 100 business list of people to call, right? If you are struggling with inventory, right, we also have leads. So these leads are exclusive, right? These are people who filled out an entire application and they didn't click on it to take the application. So they went through the entire application. Most cases they got approved, but they didn't find what they were looking for, right? And these are the age leads and the fresh leads. So these are great places, guys, for you to grab some inventory, right? And then once again, we have these dial times every day supported by trained individuals to help you, right, make your dials, help you make your calls, right? You have to be making your activity in this business. This is a big activity business, especially when you're getting started, right? Is that you have to have a lot of activity, and then as you grow, you'll have even more activity, right? But when you're getting started, getting the rocket ship off the ground is really what takes most of the fuel, guys. So keep that in mind. We can't just say oh, I'm going to try this out and then show up once a week. It's just not going to work. That's called a referral partner, right? That's called a referral partner. Just so you guys know too, one of my referral partners referred a lady to me. We rolled over 182,000. He's going to make $3,000. Do you think it's worth it having referral partners? Absolutely. So yes, there's a lot of value there, but if you really, really want to grow your business, you got to focus on your activity, right? Focus on your activity. What you focus on is what you get. If you're having a hard time doing this, once again, we have trainers in the room to help, to guide you, to give you some mentorship, to help you with those conversations, help you with those applications. So let's make sure, guys, that we're doing that. A couple other quick things today. Tomorrow we do have our team training. So make sure that you're on for team training. We do have our weekly overview at 7 p.m. Eastern. So you can invite tons of guests to that as well. That's another great conversation to have, inviting people to see our business. Worst case scenario, they're going to want to become a client and know some of the great things we do to help families. I look forward to seeing everybody on our training tomorrow night at 8 Eastern. Let's have a great week, guys. Let's go for it. All right, guys. Take care. Thank you.
Thank you.